Could talking it out save your sanity and your wallet? Here's what mediation really means. Mediation is a process in which we're going to have both parties sit down with a third party, a neutral party, to try to come to agreements. There are various ways we can go about mediation. You can have your attorneys present for mediation. You can do mediation without the presence of your attorneys, but there are several methods by which we can explore to try to have your case mediated. Courtroom battles or cooperative solutions. Here's how mediation stands apart. Litigation can be very difficult. When you're litigating a case, you're going in front of the judge. You typically have a set amount of time to have the judge hear your evidence, and the judge is making a decision, and you're stuck with that decision. In mediation, you get to control the terms of the outcome. Your attorney or you get to draft up the agreement. You get to come to those agreements pertaining to specifics like exchange locations or times that we're going to do exchanges. You get to actually work out all of those narrow details and make sure you're comfortable with them and that they work with you and your schedule. When you're going to trial, when you're litigating in front of a judge, you do not control that outcome. The judge puts on a piece of paper what is going to control your life for the next year plus. So it's very important that you try to mediate your case, that you try to come to agreements with the opposing party, and it can definitely help in limiting the amount of time your case takes as well. Worried about legal bills? Discover why mediation can be a lifesaver. Mediation can save thousands of dollars as compared to litigating a case in family law. Mediation allows you to, one, control the outcome of the case, but two, it allows you to try to come to agreements early on in the case rather than waiting for a final trial. In Arizona, final trials can take several months to get scheduled. They're long, grueling processes. You have to go in front of the court, you have to testify, you have to prepare with your attorney, you have to wait for the judge's orders after, which can sometimes take up to 2 months. It's not an easy process. When you go and you mediate a case and you come to resolutions with the opposing party, it can help things to get done much more quickly, much more effectively, and that can save you thousands of dollars in attorney's fees. There are several cases where mediation is not appropriate. High conflict cases, cases where you have something like a relocation, can be an example of a case where mediation just is not an option. When you have one party living in Arizona and one party living in Texas, the court's not going to give you, and the parties likely aren't going to agree to a middle point of both living in New Mexico. Those cases can be really difficult. Usually both parties are very stuck in their ways. One wants the children to live in Arizona, one wants them to live in Texas. Those are examples of situations where we see mediation just will not be fruitful, and frankly, where it would waste your time. It's important to have an experienced attorney who knows when mediation will or will not be helpful so that we can help guide you through that process and explore it if it's something that would help your case. If you have questions pertaining to the differences of litigation versus mediation, give us a call. We'd love to hear about your story.